Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and happy Lughnasadh or Lughnasadh or Lammas or August 1st, which is the harvest holiday, the first harvest holiday. And this is a good time to gather up and acknowledge and appreciate the things that are happening in your life right now, because for many of us, we have done a bunch of work, and now is a really good time to celebrate what you have been doing, even if it is still up in the air. And if you're like me right now, you probably have a few things that are up in the air, because right now seems to be a time for many of us when things are really intense. There's a lot going on. We're gearing up for a oh, my brain just decided to stop there. We are gearing up for an eclipse next week. And as we go towards this eclipse, the energy is really hot and high and thick. And if you are here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's also summertime, and that makes for hot as well. So it tends to make everybody just a little bit crankier, a little bit moodier, a little bit more emotional and intense, and can really affect all of us. So I think it's a really important time for all of us to remember that, number one, we're not alone, that there are people who are going through the same thing that we are going through, and that it's a really good idea to reach out, to ask for perspective, to get other people to help us to see where we've come from, what we have accomplished, what we have managed to do, as well as to acknowledge if we're going through a difficult time, which I think a lot of people are, because it's an intense time. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. There's a lot of things that are changing right now. And we've got this Leo sun coming through with this intense full moon that is going to be in Aquarius coming up next week. So how do you take care of yourself? Please leave a comment below and let me know, what ways do you take care of yourself when you are having a hard time or finding that things are really difficult? And what's your go-to when you notice that you're feeling off balance or out of sorts? Now, my personal go-to is tapping, as you might imagine if you've been watching any of my videos over the years. And so I was figuring that right now would be an awesome time to just do a little bit of tapping, and so I'm going to invite you to join along. Now, if you've never tried tapping before, practice does make it easier and easier. It can feel a little bizarre the first time you do it while you're tapping all over your face and stuff like that, but it's absolutely remarkable how effectively it helps to reboot our nervous system and to calm down the fight or flight mechanism that's in our head, as literally in our head, in our brain, because that is the amygdala, which is the part of our brain that controls the part of us that is trying to protect us from woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. But nowadays, more often than not, what we are reacting to is just something that we saw on television or on our Facebook wall, but our bodies are responding in the exact same way that our ancestors did. And where our ancestors used to be able to run it all off and deal with it and basically reset their system by running out the adrenaline with a lot of movement and activity, many of us are spending our days sitting in front of a desk, or sitting at a desk looking in front of a screen, or maybe looking at our phone or something, but we're not running when we're getting those kinds of senses of threat that our ancestors did. So we need some way to help our nervous systems to calm back down, and that's what tapping can do. So one of the ways that I really like to use tapping for just calming down is using tapping with breathing. And so I'm just going to lead you guys through this right now and show you how this can work if you haven't already done it. So generally, when you're dealing with an issue or something that's going on and you're going to be tapping, you would be tapping on the side of your hand, and you would be just acknowledging what's happening for you. So the classic setup would be something like, even though it's really intense right now and I'm really feeling it in my, and you might think about where in your body you're experiencing that sensation. And then you would say something positive. I'm okay anyway. I'm choosing to relax about it. I can love myself regardless. And something that works well for you. That's really the most important thing. You want to say things that you believe in, that you can buy into. Because if you're saying something like the old classic, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and that doesn't cut it for you, then that's going to just cause a little bit of a dissonance that you don't need. So you want to be sure that when you're saying your turnaround, you're going to be saying something that works for you. Now, a turnaround is something, and the whole sort of setup phrase is something that you can choose to do or not do depending on what's going on. So let me just show you the points right now. So the top of the head is 1 point. Some people start with it. I do, obviously. And some people start with the eyebrow points. And in my experience, when you're working with the EFT points or the tapping points, and EFT stands for emotional freedom, you can kind of move around a little bit. These are the sides of the eyes, next set of points, until it feels almost like something clicks for you and it feels good. Like it feels like, oh, there's just sort of this sense of relief, at least for me. Now, under the eyes, right on the eye socket bone, right below your pupils, and then under the nose, right on the Cupid's bow, and then right between the lip and the chin in this ridge right here, right underneath your nose again, and then right on your collarbone points, sort of like you feel for where the clavicle, the collarbone and clavicle is, and then just go down a little bit. Some people call these the sore spots too, and you can feel, they often will feel a little bit tender, especially if you're going through a period of some grief or some sadness, because this area is associated with grief and sadness. And so right now I've been going through a little bit of disappointment around some things that are just not happening the way I want them to. So it's interesting that I'm noticing there's just a little bit more tenderness on the right side than there usually is. And then the next point is underneath the arm. You're going to come down from your armpit and sort of tap on the side of your rib cage, past, if you're a woman, past where your breast tissue is, and parallel to your nipple, assuming that your nipples are still somewhat perky. Anyway, and then I'm just going to show you another point that's called the liver point that is not used that frequently anymore because it's in a slightly inconvenient place, because it is underneath the breasts, but it's the liver points, and it's right down on your ribs underneath your breasts. And that can be good for when something is particularly intense and going on. So those are the points, and then back to the top of the head. And so if you were acknowledging something that was going on, we would just start by saying, even though it's really intense right now, I'm okay, and I'm going to love myself anyway. But obviously you're going to say what you want to say. But what I want to do right now is just use this opportunity to acknowledge the intensity. And usually what I do is just focus on whatever is going on. So in this particular case, I would say just sort of the intensity of the energy around me. And for some reason, by just acknowledging things, there is a way that that acknowledgement allows it to shift. When we try to avoid it, a lot of times it intensifies it. Whereas when we acknowledge it, it helps it to dissipate and calm down. So this intensity that's all around me, this intensity that is all around me, this intensity that is all around me, just acknowledging it, this intensity that is all around me. Just taking this time to acknowledge the intensity that is all around me. This intensity that is all around me. This intensity, just taking the time to acknowledge it. Now we're going to take a little bit of a step over, and we're going to start acknowledging. As we acknowledge it, we're going to let it go. So this intensity that's all around me, it's safe to let it go. This intensity that is all around me, it's safe to let it go. This intensity that is all around me, It's okay to let it go. This intensity that is all around me, it's okay to let it go. This intensity that is all around me, it is okay. It is safe. I can let this go. This intensity that is all around me, I give myself permission to let this go. This intensity that is all around me, it's really okay to let it go. I choose to let this go. I choose to let this go. I choose to let this go. I give myself permission to let this go. It's okay to let this go. It's really all right to let this go. It's really okay to let this go. I'm just letting this go. It's okay. Now just taking a deep breath and notice how you're feeling. You may notice that you're feeling calmer and more relaxed. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to really anchor in that calmness and that relaxation by breathing in calmness and peace and breathing out any tension and worry that's going on still. But what we're going to do is we're just going to gently tap on the points while we do this. So breathing in calmness and breathing out any tension or worry. Breathing in gentleness and breathing out any concerns. Breathing in this calmness and ease, letting myself relax as I breathe out any tension or worry. Breathing in this calmness and ease, and breathing out any tension or worry. Breathing in calmness and letting myself relax. And letting go of anything that is not serving me anymore. Breathing in this calmness and relaxation. And breathing out any tension or worry. Breathing in this calmness and ease. And letting go of any concerns. I can still focus on what needs to be done and relax at the same time. Just breathing in relaxation and calmness and letting go of all the tension and stress. Breathing in relaxation and calmness and letting go of any stress that I'm ready to let go of. Just breathing in calmness and ease. And then just put your hand on your chest and just feel into that calmness. Feel into that ease. And just close your eyes if you're comfortable closing your eyes. And take a moment to tune into your connection to Divine Source, your higher power. And just take a moment to make that connection and ask for whatever it is that you need so that you feel more supported, you can feel more grounded, and that you can feel more calm and able to move forward into this week. So just taking in that breath and that connection to your higher power, to Divine Source. Just breathing it in and asking for what you need. So thanks for watching. And thanks for tapping along. Please leave a comment below and let me know how you're feeling now and how that worked for you. And if you have any questions about tapping and about how this all works, please leave a comment below. Let me know what's going on for you. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to sign off at this point in time. I am wishing you a very, very happy Lughnasadh, and I am wishing you a wonderful month of August. So until next time, peace. Oh, and if you're interested in learning where you fall on the empathic spectrum, like what kind of level of empathy you're dealing with right now, go check out my quiz, What's Your Empathic Type, at empathicwoman.com. So go do that if you haven't already done it, and leave a comment below, and I'll see you in a while. Peace.